Let's talk about this upcoming bullshit rewrite of history. If you didn't know, this is Viola Davis's new movie, The Woman King. They say her reign begins like it's gonna be all fucking epic for her. And it says it's based on true events. No, it is not. Because in the movie, she is a leader of the Dahomey tribe. And if there was ever going to be a movie based around the true events of what the Dahomey tribe did, it would be a fucking horror movie. The Dahomey tribe can very likely be counted as some of the worst people ever in history. Like, they were fucking terrible in every way. In fact, one of the things they're most famous for, refusing to give up slavery long after the rest of the world had moved on. Or maybe the fact they were cannibals. I don't know, you tell me which of those two is worse. But after the British and the rest of the civilized world stopped using slaves, they didn't give it up. They would get seriously fucked up on drugs and go raid local villages and steal people as slaves. Oh, and black people in America? There's a 1 in 5 chance that your ancestors were sold to the US by these motherfuckers. They're responsible for more than 20% of all the slaves sold to the New World. Oh, and it didn't just stop at slavery and cannibalism. See, every family from every tribe that the Dahomey had conquered had to send them one daughter. Now, the bigger, uglier ones were used as warriors. But the pretty ones? Yeah, the king used them as whores. And I know the movie's gonna try to portray these people as great warriors and shit, but they definitely were not. They were actually some of the worst warriors on the planet. They lost, like, every battle they ever fought that wasn't against primitive tribes. And no, it wasn't because they had like old ass weaponry. They had handheld guns, they had machine guns, they had every piece of technology that the armies they fought had as well. They just didn't train how to use any of them and lost every fucking battle. And in fact, the true events of history was that the French went to war with them to stop them from using slaves. And their king declared, I would rather fight 100 years than give up my slaves. But since they suck so bad at war, didn't take very long for them to lose. Like, if you look at the war between the French and the Dahomey lost like 100 fighters for every 5 or 6 that the French lost. But yeah, I can guarantee you that the real fucking history of this tribe is not going to be told in this movie. Because the real history is the Dahomey were awful people. They were an awful tribe led by an awful man and an awful woman. They didn't train their soldiers. They just marched them forward to their death. Prolific slavers in history, and the civilized world had to fight them to get them to stop enslaving other black people. So if this is going to be actually based on true events, I expect Viola Davis to be portrayed like Hitler. But they won't. They'll portray her as an amazing woman, training women to fight hard. And what were they fighting hard for? The right to enslave, torture, and rape their fellow Africans. Rewrite history much?